thing where it's like the DealMachine live show.
That'd be cool.
We're trying. Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the DealMachine Live. We'll wait for some people to get on, but I'm so excited to have today Nate and Adam, who just joined our team as head of product, Nate, and director of engineering, Adam. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yep.
So excited. Everybody, as you come on, as always, tell us where you're from. I'd love for Adam and Nate to know how long you've been with us. And also just say hi. I'm so excited. We don't get to interview our team very much, but I was really excited for Nate and Adam to get to know you guys and you to get to know them because they are huge parts of our so fast growing team. We started with 15 like 3 months ago. Now we're up to 40. It's insane, but so good. So let's start with Nate. Just tell us a little bit about your background, what you were doing, and what you do here for DealMachine.
Sure. Well, I grew up here in Indianapolis, and I've lived in several different places in the world. Spent a lot of time in South America. I have been working in software development for the last decade or so. Worked for several different companies here in town doing commercial work, worked for Wiley and Sons. I was a sports reporter for a period of time. I've done a lot of different stuff, but really my expertise is in understanding why people do the things they do and trying to build products to help them do those things easier and more effectively.
And that is what we love here at DealMachine, more effectiveness. And then Adam, tell us about you.
Yeah, hi. I've grown up here in Indiana. I was born and raised in Indiana. Grew up in southern Indiana, south of Indianapolis, kind of out in the sticks. And I have been in software development for basically my entire adult career. I went to school for biology and absolutely hated it. So my dad was a software developer back when it wasn't very cool to be a software developer. So I just kind of picked it up and it was just easy and fun for me. So I kind of moved up into the data side of it and then to IT leadership. And that's how I landed kind of here as the director of engineering at DealMachine. Mainly what my focus is on is trying to allow the team to have a very efficient flow of work through our system and to make sure that that flow of work is what the product team wants us to work on and that the work that they output is bug-free and is exactly what the product team and our customers want. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's what I feel like everyone wants to hear is all the bug-free. That's like magic. Hello, everyone. As you join, please tell us hi. Oh, look, we have one Josh Johnson on here. You guys can see his doggy. Josh is our VP of sales. Adam, I have a question for how did your dad, grew up in Southern Indiana and he was a developer. Like, well, how did he even what?
It's a very good question. So my dad was an auditor for the Department of Revenue. He would actually go to businesses and conduct audits of their books. That's what he did. Oh. So he ended up with some computer software that he actually designed on his own, kind of made his auditing processes a lot easier because he would actually do his on the computer where everybody else was doing theirs just on sheets of paper. So they're like, hey, I think we can use this. And so they transferred him up to the Indianapolis to where their home office is. And so we had to moved the family up to Franklin, Indiana, when I was in 7th grade. So we lived there. I've lived in Franklin until just a couple months ago. Actually, we're getting ready to build a house. So we're in a rental right now. But it was an amazing story. I remember building computers back when memory was $100 a megabyte. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, I've just been around computers all my life. My dad has been just loved computers and I have too. So yeah.
That's amazing. I was just like, wait, I didn't know this side of things. How did in Indiana, Southern Indiana, is there a developer?
No, we would come up to Indianapolis and they would have like computer trade shows at the fairgrounds and you'd go there and buy memory and you could buy video cards and all types of stuff. It was super cool.
I love it. Oh, we have Louie. Hey, Louie. And then Derek is one of the guys that always is on. Hey, Derek. So good to see you, friend. So just so you guys are aware, you guys can ask Nate and Adam any questions that you guys want about like where the, what their backgrounds are even more, or what they're looking forward to at DealMachine, which is what I'm going to actually ask them too. But I'd like to ask, since you guys have been here for, it's been 2 months, 1 month.
1 month.
Only a month.
Yep.
What has been the most interesting thing that you've learned either about the culture or about the software that you find interesting?
I can answer that. I have found the attentiveness and focus of the entire team on the customers and on helping people achieve their dreams has been really inspiring. It's the kind of thing like you hope, right? When you start with a new company, you do your background, you look around, you talk to people, and you hope that you're going to go to a place where people are really excited about what they do and really excited to serve their customers, right? You don't want to go be at a place where everybody's just, out for a buck and very mercenary. But I got to say, even with those hopes, I've been really just inspired and encouraged at how deep and pervasive everyone's care for the customer and care for helping people accomplish their dreams. That's been really cool. And it was more than what I even expected. So that's really just made me excited to go to work every day. It's been really encouraging, and yeah, it's blown me away.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good to hear. I'm glad. Adam, what about you on the development side of things? Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, no, the main thing I've found is the collaboration between the development staff and the CS team and everybody else at DealMachine. Everybody is very transparent in what they're doing and what they're working on and why they're working on it. And even David has been, as transparent as can be, especially with his training Monday. I thought that was just absolutely fabulous. He was able to show all that to us during that training. And just the willingness of the team to go above and beyond for each other. You can tell they're a very cohesive unit already, and I just want to try to build that and just keep that cohesiveness as we've grown. Because my team it has doubled since I started a month ago. So I just want to make sure I take care of that and make sure that they have all the tools that they need to be efficient at what they do daily.
Yeah, and your team now is how many?
We have 7 total. Yeah, we have 4 developers, and then Kim and actually we have 8, I think. Yeah, 4 developers, Kim and John.
See, so that's a big thing
6.
I wanted everyone to know in the family. Y'all don't see behind the computer screens, but like we went from, it started with Dave, and now Adam came on, and he has now doubled the size of what we had. So I want everyone to hear that we're really wanting to, David's really wanting to invest in, making sure we have the best people, which Nate and Adam are amazing. I'm not just saying that. Like I said, it seems like you guys have been here way longer than a month already.
It's been fun. We've had a good time. And it's what's funny, me and Nate, from the first time we had lunch before we actually started the DealMachine, it's like we've hit it off. And to have 2 guys like that, like Nate and I, that hit it off and just worked so well together, I think we're going to do some really good things here at DealMachine. I know we're both excited for it.
Well, and I think that and Adam, I'm sure you've experienced the same thing. I think one of the things that I found was that the entire company from top to bottom has been really well strategically aligned, and everybody's really excited and encouraged to focus our development process, not just so that we can go faster or put more features out, but really, again, so that we can have things that help people accomplish the jobs that they're trying to do. And so it hasn't, usually when you start at a new company, especially if you're bringing in like a whole new development process, that can often be really painful, right? And because it's understandable, everybody has their way of working. What I've seen at DealMachine is that everybody was primed and ready to go faster and to do more awesome stuff. And so there hasn't been that resistance that you almost always have. Everybody's been like, how can I help? How can I participate? How can I get them on board? And I think everybody's really seen that in the end, it's about delivering for our customers faster and better. And you can't ask for anything more than that. It's been really cool.
I love it. That's so what are you guys, again, as you come on, guys, tell us where you're from. We're all in Indianapolis. We have a Facebook user saying we're all glad to have you both here. Yay, us too. Feel free, like I said, to ask them any questions. I want to say, I already kind of know, but I want you guys to kind of tell. I'm horrible at giving away what we're working on. But what are you guys most excited about looking forward into 2021 of what DealMachine is going to be looking like?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, Adam, I'll take the thing that's going to release this week, and I'll let you take what's going to release a couple weeks after that. So we have a new route planning tool, which is really exciting, that will help you organize the most efficient route to drive an area, whether it's an area that you sort of draw, designate, or to drive, a zip code, or to basically set up a list of like, hey, how can I get from point A to B, C, D, E, and F in the quickest way possible. So that's going to be a really cool enhancement that should really make driving for dollars a lot more efficient and just a lot smoother. So we're really excited about rolling that out this week. We're just doing some final testing and some final enhancements. And then shortly after that, we'll have the ability to then assign those routes to specific drivers, right? So if you've got your team and you want to say, okay, I want this driver to drive 46268, which is my zip code. Hey, here's a route that will go through it. And then you can be able to assign that route to a specific driver and then basically set the routes that you want your team to drive. So those are really exciting features that will come out next month or so.
Adam.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm very excited about the route planner coming out. But I think just as exciting that David's been working on is the message engine. I think we're all super excited about this product. I think we're super excited about how it's going to serve our customers, how it's going to allow them to make deals faster and more efficient. I don't know how much I'm supposed to give out on this, but I'll just go at a very, very high level. I mean, you're going to be able to actually message the owners and have real-time feedback right there on the app. So I know we're very excited for this product, and I think it's going to just put us to the next level as far as where we are in this industry.
Yeah, and David Lecco was testing it out even last week and had somebody respond, yeah, I'm looking to sell, I want to do a deal. So yeah. It's always exciting when in the process of even testing out a new feature, you already see, oh yeah, this is going to work. This has market impact. So,
right. And I believe we're in internal beta on that one. Is that right, Nate?
Yeah, that's okay. Internal. We're testing it. Yeah. And this is good for everybody to hear and know that we really try to put any new functionality through the paces, right? And we have people using it as you use it, not just going down a checklist, but actually going out and driving. And Elise does this too for us, right? With Route Planner, going out and using it the way you use it, so that we can encounter the frustrations and obviously bugs or things that need enhanced. And that really makes a huge difference to help us solidify and make sure that what we're releasing is going to help you right away and not be frustrating to use. So right now, our message engine is in that kind of internal process where we are testing it and using it out. And we've already seen some really cool results from it, just even in the few days it's been available internally. So we look forward to rolling that out sometime later this month.
Oh my gosh. I'm literally, when David said he already got a response, I was like, oh crap, I can't wait until after Thanksgiving to try this. I need to do it right now. And I need to see if I can get a deal doing that. And I will say, just so everyone's aware, like I know in the past we've released things and there has been some issue. I mean, we're very transparent about that. And I appreciate the patience with everyone. But the big thing Nate and Adam are helping with is that we are able to test it more than just a couple of us. There's actually people designated to, and Adam has created a great process for us to give that feedback. And like Nate said, use it like you guys are using it. So that way, and we're using it on all phones where it's Androids and iPhones. And I really appreciate as an Android user, since it is more crash prone for most apps anyways, that we are focusing on that more. So I'm just so excited. And yeah, testing it out's been fun. You guys are gonna freak when I feel like every time I go into planned, you press the planned route. If anyone needs a sneak peek, we put it on Instagram. But whenever I press start driving and I do the planned route and I say like go, and I feel like I'm doing like a level up because it does that little 3D thing, and I just feel like I should be like
That's cool.
and like drop the bass or something. I don't know. But
and also, I think it's worth mentioning. Kim is our QA person who does a wonderful job, but she is now a full-time DealMachine employee and not a contractor anymore. So yeah, that's going to really help with the ability for us to test out our software before we get it out to our customers. So.
I love it. I'm so excited. Derek, will the new route tracker allow you to pinpoint abandoned and distressed properties? You can do vacant. Yes. It will not actually tell you if it's distressed. You'll have to, Nate kind of mentioned this earlier, where it is like, Derek, when you put in a list of, I want vacant, sold over 5 years, basically you guys, if you're doing the highlight feature, but it's taking you to those exact properties in the most effective and efficient way to do that. And you can choose from, what is it, like 9 voices? I was playing with that today. I'm like, maybe I don't want my Australian male anymore. Maybe I want something else. And there's like 10 voices you can choose that say, turn left on Randolph. I don't even know, but I'm just like, I'll try it. Ben gave us a plethora of voices to choose from.
Nice use of plethora. You know, I will say too, something that I'm always looking for, and this is a good call out for any users out there. You can hit me up at nate@dealmachine.com. Just fire me off an email. If you want to be part of a group to see things ahead of time, to have ideas bounced off of, I'm always looking to add users to my sort of friends of the show list, right? People who want to be involved early on in the process, sometimes before anyone's ever coded anything, right? When we're still trying to, at least when I were doing this morning, right? Talking through some changes and some enhancements to the way we wanted mailings and campaigns to work. Well, look, we can have all the great ideas in the world, but I want to make sure that we are showing those to you guys before we build anything, so that you can say, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I need. Or no, that's not going to solve my problem. I would rather know that before I give it to a member of Adam's team to develop, because that way we know we're building the right thing in the right way. So if you're interested in, getting on the front edge of idea vetting, or hearing about things, or looking at designs, as well as, potentially being a beta tester or things like that. Again, nate@dealmachine.com. Drop me an email, reach out to Elise and ask her any of the normal channels or methods. Say, I want in on helping to develop the product. And I'm always looking for friends of the show. And yeah, I will definitely be hitting you up with phone calls and emails and let you in early on, because that just helps us make a better product.
I love that. And I actually, so I'm writing down questions as you're talking, because a lot of people don't understand, and I honestly didn't either, the way product and engineering works. So does product, Nate, I know you've worked in software, but does product need code anything, or do you pass that to Adam?
You do not want me coding things. Back in the day, I used to run my own football website, and it looked like a website that a dude that doesn't know what he's doing used to code. So you don't want me coding anything. A lot of my job is to represent all of you, right? So I hear, your needs and feedback. My biggest job is to capture your problems. I want to hear about your problems. What is it you're trying to accomplish? What is it you'd like to do? Where are your roadblocks and barriers? And then I capture those. I gather all the requirements. What would it take, to fix that? What would we need to bring to the table? And then I'll present those to Adam. Adam and I will talk through them. We bring in a couple other people, get some of those details, and then Adam, I'll let you talk about how the team picks that work up from there.
Yeah, so we have just like it's a board of work. It's just imagine a stack of Post-it notes with the exact piece of work that needs to be done that is prioritized from Nate's team. And as soon as they're done with a piece of work, they grab the next Post-it note on the stack and work on that. And we keep going through the sprint. And we work in 2-week cycles. Everybody knows exactly what they're supposed to be working on. They know the priority of it. If that changes, we can shuffle this Post-it notes in the middle of the work schedule. So we are very, very agile in how we work. We all work together to keep the data flowing, or the work flowing through the system that me and Nate have created, or that Nate and I have created. So
they're digital Post-it notes, right?
Yes, they are digital Post-it notes. But
they're digital. We're learning so much. Like, you guys talk about the stories and all the things, and we didn't know what the heck any of. I mean, well, I didn't. I was like, story. Okay.
tell me a story.
Right. So
I know, I literally thought of a book. I'm just like, what's the story here?
No, it's actually like, it's a good thing to call out and explain. And I hope it's not too inside baseball. It's not too boring for everybody. But when we talk about like the smallest thing that someone who's developing something can do and deliver in a period of time, we call that a story. And part of the reason why we call it a story is it ought to tell the story of you, the user, the problem you're trying to solve, and how it's going to be fixed, right? So in like one sentence, we will say, as Derek Bailey, and I use Derek because he's on the chat right now. But we have like, sort of names that we use for different, we call them personas, right? A user who's just starting out, an enterprise user, or somebody who's doing wholesale work, and so we take that persona and we give them a name, Freddie Freedom Seeker or something. And that's meant to represent you guys, the users. And we'll say, as someone like Derek Bailey, I want to more efficiently plan out the routes that I'm going to do. I want to pinpoint abandoned and distressed properties, right? Like just exactly what that question there says. And we call that a user story, because it tells the story of how Derek Bailey is going to better pinpoint abandoned and distressed properties using DealMachine. And then there'll be some requirements on there, like it has to work, has to be quick, right? You can't take 45 seconds for the page to load or something like that. And we'll list out the requirements and we'll give those to a developer. And that's called a story. And the reason it's called a story is because it has a plot, it has a beginning, a middle, and end. And that's just a really simple way for us to communicate what you guys need to a developer who has never met you. And we tell your story to them, and they can say, oh, okay, now I can imagine, what Derek's life is like, or what, any other user's life is like, and I can create a solution to their problem.
Okay, that just reminded me of another question. So can you, Adam, talk through like how do you get the green light to go for a feature? Like, what is the process for? I know you talked about Kim. I'm not sure if everyone knows kind of what her role is, but how do you kind of say, yes, this is good to go, let's do it?
Well, there has to be several things that has to happen. And funnily enough, Nate and I are actually having a meeting right after this to actually discuss that exact topic. It's what we call the definition of done. What are we defining as the definition of done? So we have a list of criteria that I can actually pull up right now. It's pretty funny. But there's several things that's listed in it. Hold on right here. It has to meet the original acceptance criteria. So an acceptance criteria is what is the true definition of this user story? What can I say to make sure that this story is actually completed? What is the acceptance criteria of the story? Okay. It has to go through a staging server. It has to pass testing by quality, that's what Kim does. It has to pass UAT by a business unit or product. Then we have to have a release plan in place, and the code's then pushed into production. So have to have 2 layers of testing. It has to be reviewed by a peer. and then it's pushed out into production.
And a release plan just means we don't want to push out a change to the system and nobody knows about it. That's one, right? Like you open the app and it's like, wait, what the menu's all different and everything's changed and nobody told me, right? Like we want there to be a plan so that whether there's marketing, so like that message engine that we're getting ready to come out, like you guys need to know about it. You need to know how much it costs. You need to know all the details about it. If there's training that's needed, we need to make sure our customer support team knows about it so that they know how to better service it. We need to make sure Elise knows, right? That she can get everybody talking about it. There's a lot that goes into pushing out a new feature. It's not just somebody sits in their back room and codes it, then suddenly it changes. The whole team, the whole DealMachine family, including all of you, the users, have to know about it, know how to use it, and know how to take advantage. So that's all of that goes into a release plan for a feature. So Adam on his end is making sure the technical details are correct, and he's making sure, okay, has it been tested by all the right people? Has it gone through all the different steps? And then on my end, I'm trying to make sure rest of the business, are you guys ready for this? And then together we can get excited and launch a completely new engine like message engine in a way that people will be able to take advantage of it and have it solve their problems.
Freaking love it. I'd love to hear also, I know y'all are being so quiet today, but I'd love for you guys to ask anything that maybe you wish would change in DealMachine. Yes. Or something. I'd love for I know Nate and Adam would love to hear it too, since I love that you guys, when there's so many new people, it's just seeing so many, for those of us who have been around for a while, it's nice to hear what is the first impression on things. So please guys, don't be shy, say hi. I'd love for you guys to be, asking questions about things.
And at least I'll just say, while people are thinking of ideas, some of the ways that we currently have to get people's feedback. I read the Facebook group. I'm in the feature upvote portal. Our customer support and customer success team are giving us ideas. I'm calling users. I'm constantly looking, like I said, for people to talk to about their experience with the app. So right now, we're taking all of those funnels, all of those idea generation tools that we have, and then I'm synthesizing those and processing them and putting them in order. So if you've got some now, that's great. But keep in mind, all of those channels are always open, and we're always listening. And we'll follow up.
So I guess I don't know if this goes more under Nate or Adam, but you were kind of talking about groups of to give you feedback even before maybe coding's happening, but maybe is there any, or have you guys, I don't know how other software companies do this, but do they have certain groups they choose as testing groups? Yeah. Or what do they call them? The little
user panels,
yeah,
groups. Those are really common things. And that's what I would really love to see us grow and establish. Right now I have a list of 5 or 6 people that I've talked to already that have even just a 10 or 15 minute conversation. How are you using the app? What's your biggest problems? What could I solve for you? And we'd love to create a user council, where every couple of months we get 5 or 6 of you guys together and talk about, hey, here's what I would like to do better or bigger or different. And and that list becomes then our beta testers as well. So I'm kind of forming those lists off to the side right now, and registration is open, right? I'll take all comers at this point.
I love it. What you guys have you been a part of startups before, and what have you seen the challenges with startups? Well, I know there's a lot, but what's the more common one in all of them that you feel is a hurdle that has to?
I have not personally been a member of a startup per se. Some relatively smaller shops that were kind of already entrenched in their market. But here's what I am going to say about DealMachine. And as young as they are, and the developers that they have on staff and the processes that they were already following and the things they were doing is well above and beyond some of the seasoned development shops that I've actually worked in. Yes. So me and Nate and I stepping into this, it was funny. Nate said this specifically, I think, in our training about how DealMachine, we were going extremely fast with development. And that's going to release a lot of bugs, which we do have, and we are owning that, and we're working on it to fix. But Nate and I's job is to kind of slow things down just a little bit so that we can find that happy medium to delivering valuable software that's bug-free, but still keeping on the cutting edge of what's needed in this market, in this industry. So that's the best I can do for that one.
No, that's great. Nate,
yeah, I've worked now in companies of all kinds of different sizes, right? I've worked for, a global publishing company. I've worked for small local startups. I've worked for a larger established company that was making a transition into web-based technology for the first time. So that was a weird mix between a corporate environment and a startup environment. It was startup in terms of how we were engaging in the web, but the company itself was old. So I've kind of seen it from a lot of different angles. And I think to Adam's point, a lot of the things in place at DealMachine were way more sophisticated and advanced than what I expected to find. I was really more than pleasantly surprised at how solid everything was. When we talk about adding process to a company like DealMachine that's been going really, really fast, what we really want to do is add power, right? To add some focus, because everybody's moving a million miles an hour, and we want to, it's a little bit like when you take a garden hose, right? And if you put your thumb on the garden hose, you can make it spray in a certain direction. We're like adding a nozzle, right? We're like adding that nozzle so that you can focus your spray and get it going in the right direction. So like, William Clayton has a question there, what causes the app to freeze while driving? I don't know the answer to that question right now. I know the app sometimes freezes while driving, but one of the first things that we started to do was put in processes to, monitor things like crashes. Some of that was already in place, but then now to take action on those and to make sure that we're addressing performance issues and crashes and that we're getting those things prioritized, because there's nothing more frustrating than using, and not just DealMachine, any app on your phone or your computer, if it's buggy or crashes, that's going to be frustrating. And it's a problem that, everybody in the world has. It's not unique to us, but we're really dedicated to investigating those, finding out the problems and solving them.
I freaking love that. And I know these are kind of hard questions, but I'm glad you guys can kind of hear what is sometimes said. Bob is on here sometimes. Property owner data only includes one owner. Many properties I look have two or more owners. Sometimes the first owner doesn't live at the property. Can all owners be shown? I know that's something we've brought up before, but it's something that Nate needs to know.
Yeah, it's something that I need to know. And I will tell you, the DealMachine, the app itself, is capable of displaying, multiple owners. Where things get tricky is your data source, right? So we're pulling the cool thing about one of the many cool things about living in the United States, it's not true about other countries, is a lot of our property ownership records are public, right? So we can make use at DealMachine of public records and pull in that information. The tricky part is different municipalities, different counties display that information in really different ways. So we were just dealing with a bug in the last week that was made it if there were two property owners and somebody only had a letter for their first name, it wouldn't display right. So we had to go and fix that. So we do have the ability to display multiple owners, but only if the source of the information actually displays multiple owners, right? So if the county data has multiple owners, we can display that, but it doesn't always do that in a way that's easy to consume. So we're looking to constantly advance that and to handle some of those oddball exceptions. Sometimes people say, well, I want it with first name, last name, or last name, first name. And again, sometimes we're pulling those things from public sources, and not every county will display property owner information in the same order. Sometimes it's last name first, sometimes it's first name last. So we have some limitations and some things that we're constantly trying to evolve the way we consume that information to better display it in the way that you want.
Adam, this is more for you guys. I always wonder what's something small that can be worked on? Like, like how do you, I guess I don't know how difficult that answer is going to be, but just like figuring out what is easy to kind of work out and what is,
So with every item, with every ticket, with every issue that we have, we try to story point it. And that's the amount of work that it's going to take, the estimated amount of work it's going to take to get this feature, get this problem, get this bit of work done. And it can be anything from a 1 to a 20, let's just say. It can even go higher than that. But so what we try to do is in each of our 2-week sprints, which is what we work in 2-week increments. As we do these, we're going to see exactly how many story points each developer can actually do in the 2 weeks. And after we get 3 or 4 of these sprints done, we'll be able to very easily tell, all right, we can assign this developer 16 story points this sprint. We know they can get that done. So then we can go to at least you, marketing, anybody else and say, this will definitely be done at the end of this 2 weeks. So we'll know exactly how much work can flow through the system that we have in place. Does that answer your question? We try to, we meet with the developers, we bring together a user story and we say, how much effort is it to get this done? And then we take that and go against how much of an issue is this for our customers? And then we weigh kind of that in kind of a grid, and the most important and the kind of easiest will kind of get done first. So.
I love that. Cause that was my question of like, how do you know who can handle what when, for a long time we've had this smaller group of just kind of, and people work at different paces. So yeah. I love hearing this.
Yeah, so we'll have data to actually see how much work is actually flowing through and how much is each developer doing. And we'll get better at estimating these stories and how much work they are, and the team will get better at doing that too. So the more of these sprints that we get underneath our belt, the better we will be at estimating the amount of work that we can do.
We try to break the stories up to be as small as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Again, to the point, earlier today, Elise and I were talking about how can we make it easier for you to assign specific types of properties to an email campaign or to not an email campaign, to a mailer campaign. How can you say, okay, this kind of property, I want to go to this kind of campaign. And we identified, 10, 12, right, changes that could be made. Now I could
a rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, we found all kinds of little things. Hey, this label could be more clear, or these things could be in a different order, and that would make things better. Now I can send Adam's team a giant story, right? 20 things in it. Or I can send him 20 stories with one or two little things in it. And it's a lot, it's a lot easier and more predictable to deliver all those little pieces, and it gets pieces of value out to you guys faster, right? Now, every once in a while you get a huge thing like our message engine is a big deal, so our chief technical officer has been behind the scenes working on message engine because it's a really big piece of thing, a really big piece of functionality in the system. So we're constantly trying to balance delivering as much value as we can in small accomplishable chunks, changing what's changeable, and then realizing, hey, there's also bigger overhauls that need to be done or new functionality that's completely fresh that needs to be built. And those are longer term projects, and they need to be, managed a slightly different way.
I'm glad you give Adam bite-sized chunks, because after that meeting earlier, that would be a big sandwich to.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I want to chop that down into, bite-sized pieces.
This is my brother. He's never been on a live with me. So thanks, Paul. Hi.
Thank you.
Bob has another thing about mileage is not correct. My manual log. Hey, Bob, send us, or I'm actually going to screenshot this and send it to support. And we will make sure that gets taken care of, because we don't know right offhand? We have to look at your account and everything.
There could be a few things that could be causing the issue that Bob's having with mileage, right? There's some enhancements we're making to make sure routes are better snapping to roads. That would affect your mileage. But also, we're going to always hit limitations that are relying on Google Maps, right? Like, look, Google Maps is an incredible piece of technology. We're not the only ones that use it. Everybody uses Google Maps. It's wonderful. But there are going to be occasionally some limitations inherent to Google Maps that we can't improve on Google Maps, right? We can build on it, but we can't change the underlying functionality. So we'll have to dig into your exact numbers and understand what's causing that, whether that's something that's fixable or not fixable. But that's a good example of the kind of analysis and process that we have to go through. You've got a problem, right? My problem is I don't trust my mileage. It's not right. I need it to be right because for all the reasons why you depend on accurate mileage. Now taking that and then analyzing it and saying, okay, well, some of it could be the route, some of it could be the map, some of it could be, whatever is causing it. Some of it could be, performance and signal enhancements that we could do. But that's what we end up giving to Adam's team and saying, how can we solve this problem?
Okay, so I want to be very conscious of your time. I really appreciate you guys doing this again. Time is precious, so I appreciate this. To kind of wrap this up, I want to do it on more of a personal level, also just for me to know. But what is, outside of work, what are some hobbies or things that you enjoy doing? Because we really, and I hope this has been said a lot with you guys being here for a month, but like we all were just such worker bees, and now it's time to take time for yourself. I'm taking vacation for the first time in over a year, I think, because I'm like, oh, we have the capacity to do it, so I can do it. So what do you guys do for fun outside? I know you both have families, but if you could just share for everyone.
Nate, you want to go or me?
Oh, I can go. Well, you can see, if I move my head the correct way, you'll see the Death Star on my wall behind me. I'm a big science fiction fan. Star Wars, X-Files, all that good stuff. I have 3 kids that are teenagers, so that's a ton of fun. I coach baseball and softball for them. We're a big baseball, softball family. Huge Indianapolis, Indiana sports fan. Used to cover the Colts professionally as a football writer. So, those are big pieces of our life. Obviously, super involved in church and our community and our schools. So Indianapolis in general is my hobby, I'd say.
What's your baseball team? I just have to know.
The Cincinnati Reds. I'm a huge Reds fan. Huge Reds.
That was a little disappointing, but okay.
I think I was going to say Cubs or something.
I did, but that's all right.
I took off all of my Cubs stuff before I got on here. So.
Oh, thank God I have Adam. Okay. Okay, Adam, tell us about yours.
So I love golf. I've been playing golf since I was 10 years old. Played in high school, played 4 years of college. Absolutely love it. I try to get out 4 days. I try to get out at least one day a week with some buddies to get out and play. It's a real stress reliever for me. So I love that. I love fitness and working out. I work out 6 days a week. So that is a huge part of my life. And, I came to the realization once you're in your 40s that you have to take care of this body you have, and you only have one of them. So I try to do that on a daily basis. But I have 3 boys. I used to say I had all teenagers, but I don't anymore. I have one that's actually 20. So he plays soccer for the University of Indianapolis. He'll be a junior. Actually, next semester, he'll actually be a junior. So it's been absolutely wonderful to watch him grow, not only as a young man, but as a college athlete. So it's been really cool. My middle son plays soccer for Franklin Community High School, and my youngest son also goes down to Franklin. He plays tennis, so they're all involved in sports. Very good kids, very good students. So yeah,
oh my gosh, I love it. So when we do all get together, are you down for Top Golf then?
Oh, I love Top Golf. Actually, I'm going there this Saturday, as a matter of fact.
Perfect. We love we used to have meetings there, but we'll do it again. So that
for sure.
Just don't judge some of us, because
no, there's no judgment.
Yeah. But We got Deal Machine hype from Zach, and then I know my brother said hell yeah to Nate's Death Star thing because he's a big Star Wars
Nice.
bug. But thank you guys so much again. Thank you everyone for joining. Reach out to us if you need anything. But again, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, no problem. Again, Nate@DealMachine.com. Email me and tell me if you want to give feedback, you want to talk on the phone about headaches, hassles, or just problems we haven't solved yet. I want to know about them.
Love it.
Cool. Yeah.
All
Thanks,
right.
Elise. I appreciate y'all having this opportunity for us. I know I was very excited about it and super fun. So love it. Thank you. I'd be happy to come back on anytime.
Yes. All right. Sweet. All right. Bye, guys.